Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again.
Yep, I know you do it on purpose.
And we're live.
You caught me with marshmallow stuck to my lip.
Show everybody what you're drinking there.
Oh, man. Check out the cup. That's cooler than the drink.
Where'd you get the cup at?
I don't want to spill it. My uncle and his girlfriend brings me the coolest gifts. Like, she'll see something, she'll be like, oh, that looked like something that I thought you needed or whatever. And she brings me all kinds of stuff. I love it.
That's cool. That's cool.
Pretty awesome.
Now tell everybody what you're drinking.
Coffee.
Not
And what's in the coffee?
special additives.
Marshmallows. And French vanilla creamer.
It looked like it had chocolate or something too.
And chocolate.
That wasn't chocolate. That was coffee.
I like to take the cocoa bombs and put it in my coffee.
Yes. Yes. I'm telling you, it makes coffee
That
way
ain't
better.
coffee.
I like it black or I like it like fully loaded.
It's got to be
and
loaded.
it's two espresso shots in it.
Spencer. She likes big black coffee. BBC.
Don't. Hey, now.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Hey, y'all, meet and greet.
Okay. So hold on before we
Sorry,
get going.
Mark and Rebecca.
Let's tell everybody. Okay, there is a link in the description of the show. The very first comment is a link. I just posted the link. That is for anybody that was at the meet and greet. There was also a link on the YouTube link on the Woodwalkers Facebook page. For anybody that was at the meet and greet, which we're going to have some people on here, but anybody that was there, if you want to jump on for 5 minutes, if you just want to jump on and say hello. But if you were there, you want to jump on for 5-10 minutes, talk about what you thought of the meet and greet, if anything happened, because we will go ahead and start by saying we had a lot of people that said that they had stuff happen. Now, I mean, I personally heard vocalizations. Other than that, I didn't see like the rock get thrown or eye shine. Not doubting them. I'm just saying I would really like for the people that did experience the stuff to come on and talk about it themselves, because I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth or make it sound like more happened than what did happen. I would rather them come on and explain it. So the links are there. We can only have 6 people on at one time. So if you do try to come on, it'll probably take us a minute to get you on here. But anyway, to everybody in the chat, thank you. All the moderators, thank you. Now, down to business. About the meet and greet. First of all, y'all, I mean, I had a good time. It was stressful for me, but I had a good time. It was a long ride there. It seemed like I didn't sit down for more than an hour at a time, just constantly running around and everything. But I think it came off really well. I think that everybody had a good time. But everybody else, what was your view of the whole thing? How you think it went?
It was different, wasn't it?
Hey, I had a ball.
Hey,
I
did too. I ain't gonna lie.
I had fun. The only thing, and this is just like when we was at the LBL, the only thing, well, the main thing that got me was I don't get to see everybody and spend like a lot of time with nobody. It's just like you see them for a second and they're gone. And look, there's some people there that I saw go by that I never got to talk to. I really wanted to, and I hated it.
Officially, we had 112 people there, according to the sign-in book, and the 2 people I know for a fact did not sign in. There might have been a couple more that we missed, but considering it's the middle of the woods in the middle of Alabama, I was amazed that there was that many people there, and it was really hard to be able to spend any time with people. There were several people that came on Saturday that I've been wanting to meet for a year or better, and just did not have time to sit down and really talk to them. But anyway, it was a lot of people is my point, and that's why, and you were busy cooking.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did or not.
Hey, I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this out here. Squirrel was talking about that cup that her aunt and uncle got her. Look, I was overwhelmed that the people that brought me stuff just thought of me and brought me stuff to the meet and greet. I mean, I got some of the coolest stuff that, just about broke me down when they gave it to me. Look here. Talking about a pretty Browning hat, because I'm a Browning man. Mr. Jim done got me one of the prettiest hats I've ever had.
I
Brought
love
that to me. I work in Tennessee. We'll lay that over there. And then, you talking about something cool? Look what PJ painted.
Yes.
PJ, thank you so much. Awesome. I got to hang it up. I just hadn't hung it up yet. But PJ painted them herself. Ain't that awesome? And look, this is what I got dug out. I had more people, so if I don't put something on here that y'all gave me, it's because I ain't got it unpacked. But
don't worry, 3D. We'll get to that. There are pictures.
Check this out, the bull roarer thing that Miss Sherry and Donna. Oh man, you swing this thing around and it makes the whoop 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 sound. I don't know if y'all can see it. This is actually, I picked up the one. This is the one she done for Al. Mine is laying right here. Here's mine. This is the one she done for Alan. It's got a deer on it. And look how pretty mine is. It's got a Bigfoot, says Big Chief. Y'all can see that. Made I think she said bloodwood. Man, This thing's like iron. But I think they burn up 2 saw blades cutting these things.
She said they worked on them for like 2 months making those.
I don't know how good y'all can see that, but
they were really, really
nice.
That's
awesome.
Is today Sherry's birthday?
Yes. Happy birthday,
Miss birthday, Sherry. We love you.
And I don't know if this will show up or not, but because it's so bright. But check out my sign. Look there, it's overloading it, but it says man cave. Leanne brought me that.
That's cool.
Mine says she shed.
Yeah, it's so bright you can't even see it on here.
All she gave me was a hard time.
Yeah, but that was well deserved.
I gave her a pimp ring, so.
Yes, but y'all just overwhelming, just blown away. Y'all didn't have to bring me nothing, but this stuff's gonna get hung up in the man cave, and wow, overwhelming.
Well, Mark, Becca.
Well, we enjoyed it. It was a little stressful. Not gonna lie and say it wasn't, but we had a good time, and I was glad to put faces with names that I haven't met before, and glad we had some new people come. And we may have actually had more people than the 112. I think there were some other people that didn't sign in besides the 2 you talked about. So we may have been up closer to 116, 117. We had a good time. I appreciate everybody taking their garbage with them, keeping the campground clean. It looked probably a little better than when we got there. Everybody working together to get campers and tents out. I really appreciate all people working together and all that stuff. And me and Rebecca didn't show everything that everybody got us Friday night. I'll probably wait and do it this coming up Friday night. But there's a lot of people brought us stuff, and we really appreciate them doing that. And
We should also say a real big thank you to everybody that donated stuff for the raffle.
Yes.
Thank you very much, everybody. That was that. That's right. That's right. There's a separate video about that. But thank you very much. What?
Y'all, we can't forget our sure enough camp champs, Billy Schilling and Gary Spikes, on running all over the place and helping everybody and setting up and lining up people, and just,
yes, sir.
Man, they're like official camp hosts.
Well, I mean, even like Dale Boswell, and y'all, I wish I had the video. None of us could get the videos loaded up properly, but Dale Boswell, who is a professional musician, he played and sang for a bit. Billy Schilling impressed the hell out of everybody and jumped in there and played and sang for a bit. It was really good. We essentially had like a mini concert. We had a raffle. Greg cooked. We had groups of people sitting around sharing stories and everything. Down on one end, Anthony set up a projector and was showing movies, and there was like 15 people sitting there like they were in stadium seating watching movies in the middle of the woods. It was really cool. It was a good time. Silicon. I say pure silicone. Anyway.
Yeah, how blew away was y'all though by Billy when he started playing and singing?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Moggs. I mean, all of them. I can't do it. I wouldn't even get up and talk in front of nobody.
I struggle with the stereo.
Hey, let's show everybody the pictures. This takes about 4 minutes. I scrolled through about, I don't know, 300 and some pictures. These are the ones that I picked so that they didn't overlap. I wish we had the video, but I just want everybody that wasn't there to be able to get a feel. So here we go. I don't know why that cut off Dale's head, but anyway. And for everybody that got windled and just got their picture taken, hey, I'm using it. Sorry.
I think I avoided the pictures.
You did get
lucky.
two.
Now
that pictures in it.
That was at the man cave when Misty and JR, and then we conned Heather and Roger into coming down here because he wasn't going to get to come to the meet and greet. So that was at the man cave a couple days before.
Yeah, some of these are, the day before or on the ride down there.
Hey, Kumbo.
Hey, Kumbo.
Kumbo.
Howdy. How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Oh,
hey, Kumbo.
Be nice if it was raining.
Did you start that fire, Spencer?
Nope. Slade had that going before I got there.
Oh yeah, Solomon's birthday today too, y'all.
Oh wow! Happy birthday, Solomon!
Happy birthday, Solomon!
Happy birthday, Solomon!
That little boy, she said he had an absolute blast.
I think he did. I really do.
I mean, come out of his shell and took up with Sherry, but I mean, obviously, she's just like that. She's a mother figure to everybody.
Oh yes. There's Dale. Picking and
Speaking
grinning.
of which, y'all, Mr. Boswell is not feeling good at all today. He said he might have to carry himself to the hospital. So everybody thoughts and prayers for Dale Boswell. He's under the weather. And we had a lot of medical stuff, and we'll talk about all that. But y'all just watch the pictures so everybody has a rough idea of what it was like.
You done a wonderful job, Spencer. I'm proud of you.
Shut up.
Look, you can't even
Gary Spikes, especially. Wait till we talk about what happened to Gary Spikes and Kumbo. Wendell, hold on. We got to pause this.
Right.
We had our own security. Wendell was
Yeah.
on private security, and he's snatching up squirrel for some kind of violation here. It's hard to tell with her. It could have been anything.
Yeah, I don't know what he is actually about to arrest her for, but it was bad.
That
Oh.
you got him. He absolutely loved that. He wore that all weekend. I hate you, Spencer.
The passing of the torch. The passing of the torch. That
Lord,
That's
look,
what it is.
look,
I
Erica.
started to take a picture of a mushroom and send it to you, Misty.
Erica, that's like wielding Excalibur.
That's those big persimmons.
What'd you say those were? Asian persimmons or something?
They're
Yeah, the
Asian
Japanese.
persimmons. Yes. Uh-huh.
A lot of folks call them Japanese persimmons.
Yeah.
Or
I got
Japanese persimmons. I think you're more precise. It should be Japanese persimmons. Because the folks that I've seen growing them were all Japanese.
I've got some here at the house, Kumbo. They ain't making yet, but they.
Uh-huh.
They struggling. We put them in the wrong spot.
Miss Pat cooking for everybody.
Uh-oh.
Yep. There's where magic was happening.
Mm-hmm.
There's
And then
Billy
this
at the
is-
man cave.
That's after the meet and greet. Billy joined Greg at the man cave for a couple nights.
Yep. Look, there's
Bam,
old
bam.
I know. Look, y'all, I got my Bamarals on today, and I took them. I was going to wear them all weekend. It was the daggone hot. Near him, neither one wore them.
Yeah, that's what she's been calling her, Bama Ross.
Yep.
Look at there.
Oh, Patrick, I swear he's a good
There's some
dude.
scoundrels.
Yep.
They say somebody was going to steal Dale's guitar. There he is. I think there's the culprit.
I figured it was Spencer because he couldn't play it.
There's old Jody.
If I'd have stole it, I'd have broken it.
There's Aunt Verby.
There's Burby. Thank you for all the stuff, Burby, and the food.
Sandra.
Sandra.
Her son, Jeffrey, is the sweetest kid. I don't guess he's a kid. He's younger than me, but
Hey, I thought you was going to take him away from her. Look at there.
There was a couple of incarnate ones there. Pat and
Y'all
Spade.
check out the pictures.
I'm surprised to survive.
Her skillet.
Mr. Eric.
Yep.
Derek's last name.
I can't remember right now.
There's Mr. Dale.
Yep.
I don't know why I cut off Jacqueline's head. I'm sorry, y'all. The pictures were lined up right.
and eyes are on fire today.
Ragweed's bad right now.
I guess so.
Yeah.
JR woke up sick this morning.
Well, I spent most of the day yesterday afternoon on the tractor bush hogging that stuff.
Mm.
Hey, Greg,
Yes, sir. There's PJ. Yes, sir.
I got me a good
Mary.
green field bush hogged out.
Well,
There
good.
we go. Uh-oh.
Look at there.
Gotta-
Stacy.
Yep.
If that pyrite right there. I don't know if it is.
For y'all that don't know, that is Haywood.
That's a thug right there. Man, I had
champions here.
Haywood's so cool.
Kumbo, every time you come on YouTube show, you're eating something.
That's because he's eating
Well,
something.
it's because I'm all time going. I mean, this is about the only time I get to sit down and eat.
It's her big in it. A lot of times there'll be chunks in it.
There's Sandy.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Look, there's old John. John's getting his beard on.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him. Look there.
Abby and Wanda, I see y'all down there. Give me a minute. Wait till I take the pictures off.
I think Wanda was hiding in that picture. You used to like peeping over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I use sister as a block.
Katie G and John showed up. That was cool.
Man, so awesome to meet them. There's
Happy
Mr.
birthday,
Jim.
Sheriff, Mr. Jim.
Yep. Look there. Bama acting like a zombie.
Great day. That's a lot of pictures.
I think that's
That's Brian.
Thrasher.
There's
Really?
Jeff. That's Sandra's son, Jeff.
That's Donna's sister. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Michelle, I think it was.
Yeah. That's who I was thinking about.
Yeah, that wasn't her.
There's my baby
There she is.
in Shiloh.
Hey there, Abby.
Mr. Brian.
Mm-hmm.
There's,
Ashby.
hey, there's Larry Porch III.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Bama in the background.
That is the passing of the torch, y'all.
Because
Awesome.
Oh, look, got a picture with porch in it. That's Misty on the way down, all packed up.
Yeah.
Leaving the driveway.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, good job on the pictures.
Yeah.
That takes a long time to do all that.
Oh, hey, girl.
Hey, y'all.
Look there.
Abby, did you have a good time?
Yeah, hey, Wanda.
Great time.
Ugh. Wanda, did you enjoy it?
Yes, we had the best time. We'd go back today.
Who's holding,
Definitely.
which one of y'all's holding the phone? You're making me seasick.
I know
Abby.
my Bell's palsy's about to kick in.
There, I'll cover up the face. There, is that better?
That's a lot better. That helped. I was supposed to have to take some Dramamine.
Y'all feeling
Abby
better?
worked it. Yes, we are. Thank goodness. It was a rough few days.
Yeah, Abby, what was the most fun you had at the meet and greet?
Getting to spend time with everybody and getting to meet people I didn't get to meet at LBL. It was fun. Getting to go outdoors and everything.
Well, you got to go on a little hiking adventure. What, Saturday? Who'd you go with? Tell us what happened.
I went with Donna and Sherry, and we was about like halfway up, and we looked at the trees, and there was 3 trees. 2 of them were diagonal, and then one was just going straight across, and it had a triangle in the middle. And it wasn't like, and it's really hard for it to fall like that by itself. And then just a little bit further, there was a fresh print, and it was still moist.
We got pictures, but I forgot to send them to Spencer.
What kind of print? What are we talking about? A cat print, dog print, what?
Bigfoot print. It was only just a couple inches bigger than my foot.
But it had, you can see the toes.
Yes, you could see the toes, and you could see the heel. You could see like the whole thing, and it was clear too. Like, you could see it good.
So this wasn't in camp. This was hiking way up the trail.
Yeah, almost halfway.
Wow. She was pretty excited, wasn't he? Got pictures.
Yes, I was really excited.
Awesome.
Well, y'all, did anybody here, anybody that's on right now, did any of y'all, aside from Abby finding the track and possible structure, did you catch a glimpse of anything? Did anybody else find tracks? Did you see eye shine? Did you hear vocalizations? I said at the beginning, I heard 2 really distinct Friday night I think it was right around 1:30 a.m., maybe 2 a.m. Two very distinct, long, the atypical whoop, just long and loud. I heard that. Other than that, I heard some possible other stuff, but I was just busy and didn't get a chance to go look or do anything. Did y'all see anything or have anything happen? Anybody?
Oh yeah.
I heard stuff Friday night and Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Sandy did too.
Yeah, I heard some calls way off in the distance, and then I heard a couple that weren't that far away. But I had something that I can't really explain Saturday night while everybody was over there kind of at the fire, and I'd walk back over to my camper, and JR, he'd walked over there. JR and Misty were camped right next to my camper, and JR and I were talking, and JR had his back to the wood line. And I mean, he's like only 20 feet from the trees. It was real thick, and there's nothing straight behind where we were camped, like no trail, no nothing. It was just that, y'all saw it as that growed up thicket. Well, as I'm sitting there talking to JR, just over his right shoulder, my left side, but his right shoulder, it was like a light. And it wasn't really like an eye shine as far as, because there was no light shining in there. There was no light going into the trees, but it was just like something, just a light appeared, and it got big. And I'm talking about, this thing was big as a silver dollar, and there's no way it was over 35, 40 feet. And it was just in in the woods where it was just pitch black dark. But that thing it started out small, and it got about that big, and you could have counted like one Mississippi 2, and it was like it went whoop and was gone. And I told JR when I saw it, I said, dude, don't move, just keep acting normal. I said, I just saw something right over your shoulder in the woods right there, and I don't know if it's an eye or what that is, but that thing was the color of like a real bright coal in a fire. It was pretty much red, but it was a little bit of orange to it. But that thing it was like it just increased in size, just like it swelled up and got about that big. Like I said, maybe 2 complete seconds. And it's just like it just went right back out and was gone. Zip. And we never heard anything, never saw anything else. But it was right behind I'm talking about, it was less than 40 feet from where we were standing. That's where the same place because we got talking about it. And then Dale Boswell, him and I can't remember who was there with him, but they were like, did you see that? And, his camp was about 50 or 60 feet from me. So they were looking at a different angle. But that's where he wound up recording something, that light that he had in the woods, which, his video, it's hard to tell how big it was. It looked really small in his video. But what I saw, it was that big. I mean, it was big. And I can't explain that. And then later on, Wanda goes to tell me what happened to her when she went around behind my camper. What'd you say happened to you?
Yeah, I went to zip up that little pop-up tent thing we had back there. About the same spot where you saw the eye. I couldn't tell for sure if it was a pine cone or a rock, but it didn't just drop. It was throwed because it hit hard. It was pretty good size.
Somebody that is not on here right now, well, a couple people, I think, Mark knows better detail than I do, but a couple people were standing around and actually, my understanding is they actually saw a rock come flying in. I think it bounced up and hit a grill or something. Becca?
That's Rebecca.
Yeah, I was there Tuesday night with Pat and Joe and them.
Billy.
Yeah, Billy and Steven and all them down at their camper. And we had a little rock come in and hit the Blackstone right beside me. And I watched it bounce off. And I thought, I forgot the guy's name that was right across from me. No.
Billy.
No. Anyway, I thought that he possibly threw it. And he said, Paul, yeah. He said he didn't throw it. And but everybody there heard it hit. I just happened to see it hit.
Did you go ahead, Mark?
Randy,
I was just gonna say, I think one followed them back, her and Billy, back over to my camper. David had some stuff happen prior. David and Kathy were the first ones there on Monday. David said he seen a silhouette of something
That was
out around
Wednesday
his
morning.
truck early in the morning when he was leaving for work. There was tons of stuff that happened, started from Monday all the way to the next Monday when we left.
We even had stuff happening Sunday night.
Oh yeah, I had rocks thrown at me, and we seen a shadow go across the camper.
I was in the camper, so I didn't
Yeah.
see it. But sister
Went ballistic, and then we caught something on thermal behind my truck, weaving back and forth. But he did not have a recorder on his thermal to record it. So, and Miss Robin, I know she may be in here, and I may be speaking out of turn for her. I'd rather her tell it. Late Sunday evening, right at dark, when most everybody had left, she come out of her camper right at dark. Barry's in here; he knows about it. And Leanne knows about it. She said something took off from her camper that was very big. And then we had a couple leaving Monday that got up the road a little piece and said they seen what looked like something on all fours. Half of it stuck in the woods, but he swore up and down that the butt and the legs were like human, and it was real hairy and shaggy. So,
Wow.
Debbie, a lot of that stuff happened at our end of the campground.
but that a lot of that happened. Debbie and them got there too.
Yeah.
And then after,
She put the comments they were at the wrong end. No, you were at the right.
The thing that's like worried me the most while we were there were when let's see what day, Friday, me and JR and Al went to town to get the groceries to fix the food for Friday and Saturday night. And coming back, I ran over about a 4-foot rattlesnake about that big around laying there across the road. And that had me kind of on pins and needles bottling around at night in camp. I mean,
while we got Crystal and Solomon on here, first of all, is it Solomon's birthday? Crystal?
Yes.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Happy birthday, Solomon.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday, Solomon.
Hey,
Happy
Solomon,
birthday.
will you please tell everybody what you saw?
You can tell him, honey. It's okay. He said he doesn't remember, but he gets bashful when he gets put on the spot. But what I can remember is the look of not so much fear in his eyes, but the look of surprise when he came up to me. I was sitting in the chair with binoculars, just kind of looking at the woods and stuff, and he's riding his little scooter all around. And he come up and his eyes were so big, and he's like, I've never seen a dog do that before. And I said, do what? And here I'm thinking he's talking about the dogs that are there, because everybody had pets and stuff with them. And he said, stand up like that. I said, stand up like what? He said, like we do, like on 2 feet. And I said, where did you see that? So he wasn't scared. He just was surprised and amazed. And I don't think, and dog man isn't something him and I really talk about. So
not unless you're trying to terrify your own child.
Right. And usually everybody reports Dogman as being like scary and fearful, but he just looked surprised. And if it looked we have 3 German Shepherds.
No.
Yeah, don't freeze up.
Definitely the look on his face told me something, because it's not a look that I've seen.
Yeah.
It was you could tell it was real.
If you have 3 German Shepherds Solomon, how big was it compared to your dogs at home?
Was it bigger, smaller, or the same size? Smaller.
Smaller. A little bit smaller?
Like, what if Shadow stood up on her hind legs? Would it be about that size? Smaller than her?
Wow.
What did it do after it stood up? Did it turn around?
He said it just was just standing there looking at him. It didn't move or do anything. It didn't make any noise or anything like that.
And that was in the little section, the wooded section where nobody really was right there, right?
Where you would go up and you would, like where Patrick Noble was, and you would go around that turn and then come up that little hill to go back down through the camp. It was
Where
in that
everything's
little section
hid.
right there.
Okay.
And then I
Hey,
grabbed
There near where
binoculars.
where Brian was.
Do what?
He close to where Brian was camped.
Yeah,
Big
down in
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like where I know I had seen Bama back there with his dog. Yeah, it was just the very kind of like the end piece where nobody camped past that part.
Right. Kind of that little section is off to itself. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was just so much woods on the right side. You couldn't, like, if you were coming down that road or he was riding a scooter on the right side, you couldn't camp in there. It was all woods. And we
Right.
would have been on the left side. Yeah.
Yeah, the other side of the loop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very thick right there too, and that's kind of hid from camp in a little ways. You could stand in there and watch stuff go back and forth, and nobody never see you standing there.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, I would know where he was because he was ringing the bell on the scooter, and I could kind of hear where he was in the campground because he'd always ring that bell. And maybe his riding and him ringing that bell is what caught the attention of something.
Could have, very well possible.
Oh, ringing the bell, yeah.
'Cause it had like
Mhm.
that ding.
And it may have surprised it because he come around that loop, and it may have been sneaking up to get a closer look, and there he is all of a sudden, and it surprised it too.
Yep.
I mean, we really never know the answer to that, but
Yeah, and we've never seen a
Well, you know-
Bigfoot, so he could be misidentifying. I don't know, but he said he called it a dog. I didn't know dogs could do that. I never seen a dog do that, is what he said.
Solomon, did its arms or hands do anything? Did they just stay down at its sides? Did it raise its arms up? Was it holding anything? Did it grab a tree?
Just standing there.
Now,
Totally.
Solomon told me. Solomon, did it have a tail?
Yes.
Did you see a tail on it?
Yes. Say yes.
It did have a tail.
Yeah, he's saying yes.
Okay.
Don't know.
And I hurry up and grabbed my binoculars and was trying to look through those woods real quick, but I couldn't. It's so thick in there, I couldn't see anything.
Even with the thermals out there, you could only see 10, 15 foot into the woods. I mean, it was just, it was too thick. Nothing penetrated.
Well, we could have some dog men in here. I'm not. Most of it's back up toward Cheehaw, where the reports come from. But I ain't gonna say that ain't some down in here either, because there have been some pictures that surfaced that looks like a classic dog, man. So
yeah, and like
Well,
I said, he didn't have a
Sandy,
look of
I
fear.
believe that there was stuff.
He didn't have a look of
I
fear.
believe that there was stuff around the camp during the day. Sandy commented a couple of times that she had not seen any birds, any squirrels, anything out there in the woods where you would have expected a place like that. You'd see a lot of wildlife, but there,
and there was nut trees everywhere.
There was nothing there. There was nothing there.
Nope.
Well, a lot of people are going to say they're going to be, well, not a lot of people. There's going to be some people have the opinion that you got a lot of people that's out there, and that's what we're there for. And automatically, a lot of people's going to say, well, we had something happen, or we heard this, we heard that. Sure, some people may hear something and say, well, it may have been that. But I'll tell you this, when you got a big crowd of people like that in an active area, you may not have the super scary encounters, but you can bet your ass that they're going to come around and snoop around, and they're going to see what's going on. Because these things they're going to be looking to see what's happening.
I would just say that
is correct.
You're in the right spot. You know, if you're in the right spot, whenever you have 120 people or close, whatever, 112, 117, whatever it is, you have 100 and some people. If 30, 40 people, it'd be one thing if there's only one or two people saying, hey, I heard something. Whenever you have 30, 40 people that are all saying, and not patting ourselves on the back, but I mean 30, 40 people that have, you know, a little bit of experience in this stuff saying, hey,
like observant.
you know, I
These
think that
people
was
are
something.
observant people.
Yeah. I mean, we can't prove it,
Jason,
but well, hey, Crystal, Solomon, happy birthday. Crystal, let me bring John and Phyllis on here real quick. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for jumping on the show.
No problem.
Hey,
All
we're
right.
gonna
It was
hop
so
on
nice
Jason
to meet
Dobbin.
all you guys. I loved it. Was such a fun trip for us. We had
See
the
you,
best
Solomon.
fun. Say goodbye to everybody.
Bye,
Bye, Solomon. Happy birthday.
birthday.
Yeah.
Bye, buddy.
Hey, we're gonna hop
Jason,
off too. We just wanted to say we enjoyed seeing everybody. We love all y'all. Thank y'all for the gifts that y'all brought us. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to see everybody again. So, see y'all soon.
Okay.
We love all y'all. Thank y'all for the gifts that y'all brought us. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to see everybody
Jason
again.
Dobbins asked a good
See y'all
question.
soon. We love all y'all.
All right.
Thank y'all
Do a
for the
mic
gifts that
check.
y'all brought us. We appreciate it,
Hey there.
and we can't wait to see everybody again. See y'all soon. We love all y'all. Thank y'all for the gifts that y'all brought us. We appreciate it.
All right, good.
And we can't wait to see everybody again.
Johnny,
What the hell is going on?
somebody's got their video on or the sound.
I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay,
All right.
well, they're
I want to
closed
say,
down.
Jason. All right. Jason Dobbins asked a good question. If the smell of the food could have drawn them in, and yes, it can.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's actually something we do sometimes. Is we'll go out in the middle of nowhere and start frying bacon and stuff like that. You know, stuff that we know that'll bring them in.
Hey, can we hear you? Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
We're probably going to have to use Phyllis's phone for this. We're going to back out and go back on Phyllis's phone.
I mean, y'all are
Sorry,
fine.
guys.
Yeah, we can hear you and see you just
Hey,
fine.
you're fine right now.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I think those boogers down there, anytime somebody pulls up in that camp,
I
they're
think they're
there.
just curious. Yeah,
And I think they were around us the whole weekend.
they were.
I totally agree, Mark.
Let's talk about real quick. So what happened on Sunday night? Was it Sunday night that y'all were talking about? After most
everybody
people had
left.
left? That happened
Yep.
at
Yeah,
your
that's when,
camp?
that's when the little rock started coming over to me by the campfire. I put a little video out on my Facebook page. You could hear other people in the background laughing. They was all up at their camper. I was sitting there at the fire by myself when the rocks kept flying in. And a little while later, everybody come down there and sit around the fire with me. Leanne and Barry had walked Miss Robin to her camper. I think Miss Robin got a little nervous after what she saw leave her camper that evening right at dark. But Leanne happened to be standing in the road looking up at the stop. Go ahead.
Hang on, Mark. Somebody's echoing. Somebody's got their phone or
TV.
phone and TV on.
Yeah. If you got your TV on, mute it.
Hang on, Mark. Somebody's echoing. Somebody's got their phone
Yeah.
or TV on.
Billy, is that you? Damn it, Shilling.
What?
He's probably
What I
watching.
do now?
No, if you're watching this on TV, just turn your volume on TV down because it'll bleed back over.
That's what it is. I muted the mic.
Ah.
I knew it was Billy. problem.
Yeah.
maker.
Yeah, there we go. We got him now.
Is that better?
Yes,
Sorry.
awesome.
Yeah, that's better.
Well, hold
I
on
can't
one
hear
sec
nothing.
though. So Mark, after the rocks were being thrown, what was it? Something about somebody saw movement
Well,
or
I come
something
over and
over
sat
by your-
down. I come over and sat down beside him, and I was watching some movement over in the woods. Couldn't really tell what it was. And then Leanne walked over to that exact same spot. I thought she was seeing it, but she was just looking at stars.
And there was movement behind a pine tree there that Rebecca seen about where Leanne was standing. You can see, I think I took a couple of pictures. I haven't put them out. I can show the pine tree. And you can see our camper off to the right. Wasn't long after that, Barry was sitting straight across from me, looking behind me, and he kept seeing some movement between the two campers. That's
Was I
when
still up at this point?
he was still up. Garrett got his thermal out and went to scanning the place pretty good, but he wasn't picking up no heat signatures. Then he tried his night vision, didn't pick up nothing. Rebecca went to bed.
I took sister with me.
Maybe been over there 30 minutes or so.
If that long.
Stacy makes a comment to me. She said, "Oh Lord, there was a big shadow just went across your camper." And I said, "Well, if there's something over, our sister will let us know in just a second." I ain't even got it out of my mouth. Your sister went ballistic at the camper. I got up. I said, "Well, let me go over here and see what's happening." I go over and walk around. Don't see anything. Ease back to the camp. But I did ask Rebecca, did she just hear something? She said, yes, I heard something around the camper. And we went back and sat down, and that's when Kathy and Garrett started catching something on thermal behind my truck. And you could see it.
And the bad smell.
And the mad smell. That's right, Stacy. The smell came in there. You could see this
Mark.
Forth.
Mark,
So-
you may have been just downwind of my trailer.
But this
Just
was
kidding.
pretty much after everybody
Yeah,
left.
this was after everybody left
This was-
Sunday night.
This was Sunday night.
Porta Johns were still there. Though.
Yeah, but now this was a different smell. This was I kept smelling cow manure the whole weekend. It would come in and out. A cow manure smell. I
Yes.
I did too.
Yeah.
5 miles away.
Whiffs of it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know what that was
And-
coming from.
Well,
And whiffs of it that would be there 1 second, and then
And
a
then
second
gone.
later it wasn't there, and like it was in different spots of that area too. It was down where we were camping, and it was up the other end.
I told Billy that we hadn't even, when we got there, it was dark. So I didn't even know what the layout was, what anything looked like or whatever. And when we were walking, I said, I smell cow shit. And he was like, you know, I said, do you smell it? And it took a minute. And then, did you ever smell it?
I did.
well, I smelled it. I smelled it over there where Pat Rance and them were.
We
A
were
time
on
or
the
two.
trail.
Well, let's get down to some important stuff. I want to see if Mr. Billy will tell all these folks what he actually seen and what happened to him.
Yeah.
Well, Sherry and Don and Mr. Jim got there, I guess, about 12:30. And I helped them get set up where they could go to bed. Sherry was determined she wanted to go walk, and I really didn't want to go, but we took off toward the green field. We seen coyotes, and we saw deer.
You did.
Several things as we walked up through the woods. We got almost to the green field, and I spotted something down in the woods. And it was a ruddy red, brownish color, kind of like a brick. And when my lights hit it,
We don't have any volume, guys.
We can't hear nothing.
We have
What
no
I need to do.
volume.
Technical.
And it's happened last time we did this. Son of a gun.
what I need to do.
We'll try again.
Hold still, Billy. Go ahead, Billy.
Where you want me to start at? At the beginning again?
No, just
No,
No,
you
no.
saw something red brick color.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, something red brick in the woods.
It was kind of a ruddy red, brownish color, kind of like a brick. And when my lights hit it, it kind of shined and shimmered. And I said, Sherry, you seeing this? And she jumped up and started trying to take pictures, hollering. She said, oh my God, oh my God. And I asked Donna, I said, are you seeing it, Donna? And we were sitting there looking at it, and it was kind of hunkered down, and I couldn't see nothing but its back. And I whistled. Donna smacked me and said, you're not supposed to whistle in the woods. And when I whistled, I seen its head kind of bobbed and went back down. Well, Donna had a really it was a real white, bright light. And she hit it with her lights. And all of a sudden, I can't see color no more. What I see looks like it's shimmering leaves. It looked like it. I still don't know what I saw. It reminded me of the Predator. The leaves just shimmered right where it was sitting at. And I looked away and I was trying to decide, had it moved and I missed it or what? And when I looked back, it was like honestly, it looked like a black hole in the woods. I don't know what it was. I know it wasn't a deer. I know it wasn't a bear. It wasn't a dog. It wasn't a squirrel, definitely. It was.
Let me go check. I'll be back.
I don't know what it was.
Gotta hurry.
Billy, y'all weren't very far from it either, right?
Oh no, 20 yards, maybe 25.
Wow.
It was very close. I mean,
it was.
It looked as wide as me twice. Like I said, it was squatted down. I really couldn't tell. It was at least as wide as I am a time and a half. It was my width and a half again, at least that big. I don't know. I wish Donna and Sherry, I hadn't talked to them about what they saw or what we thought it was. I talked to Troy Allen about it. He said he wasn't going for no black hole portal stuff, but that's what I saw. But it wasn't nothing I'd ever seen before. It wasn't a bear. It stayed stooped down with its back toward us, like I can't see you, so you can't see me, type of thing.
Right.
But every time I seen it move or anything like that, I'd ask the girls. I'd say, "Are y'all seeing this? Can you see it?" Because I was seeing it moving, and I'm thinking, man, I have no idea what that is, and I wanted to make sure that I had witnesses to what I saw. And Sherry, she hadn't had a chance to work on her pictures, I don't think, but I don't know what it was. I only got one conclusion. And I know what it wasn't.
Was there any noises? Any branches breaking? Any vocalizations? Did you get the creepy feels?
Well, Sherry stopped about a little over halfway up there and said, "Do you feel that? Do you feel that?" And I said, "What?" And she said, "My skin feels like it's crawling." Now, I didn't have that. I really wasn't expecting to see anything. I'll be honest with you. I'm more of a skeptic than I am a believer. But now I don't know what to believe. I'm really confused.
So she did get pictures of it.
Huh?
I said, this stuff confuses you. There's no doubt. It keeps me confused too all the
Jerry
time.
just said the colors were changing each time I took a picture.
Wow.
It was really freaky. I mean, like I said, I'm more of a skeptic than I am a believer. But now I don't know what to believe now.
Since we are talking about strange things that you can't 100% explain or nail down, everybody here, and Kumbo, especially your opinion on this one, if you don't mind. I know this is going to sound out there, but We had a hurricane before, a hurricane after. We had people that had a flat tire. We had, but this is the main thing I want to say. We had 4, at least, medical situations that happened.
Yes.
And it was with people that were okay, and then they got there, and whenever they got there, all of a sudden they were not okay. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic or make it sound more than what it was, but I do think, I mean, if you've been doing this for a while, you've certainly heard the stories of all of the people that were researchers for a long time and they get weird diseases and cancer and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure something was there. I mean, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure something was there. And I just in general, without anybody's, you know, because we can't prove it, does anybody think that maybe the boogers, if boogers were there, is it possible that they caused some of the medical conditions? I mean, just the odds of having 4 people fall out all at one time. Kumbo, tell me something. What do you think on that?
Well, I've seen it. I've actually witnessed it happen on multiple occasions. They definitely can zap us with very strong infrasound, and I believe they can also get us with what's called dissonant ultrasound as well, both of which are proven to be able to make people get violently ill. And matter of fact, we had a researcher that she's passed away now, died of cancer, but when we would be out and the boogers would be close by, Kelly, her name was Kelly Mattingly. She was, she knew it. She knew it first. And when they would be zapping us, and this is back when my hearing was better, and I could hear down a little ways into the infrasound range, and I could hear them zapping us. And Kelly would actually go into anaphylactic shock, and she. The only way she could get out of it had to go through a sleep cycle. But you know, when I think about all the crazy things that have happened to a bunch of us that have researched them, have been around them a bunch, you know, it's more than a coincidence.
Well,
I mean,
there were 4 people that needed medical assistance.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of people that were complaining about a sudden onset of like headache and bouts of nausea. And somebody just made a comment about unusual swelling. I don't know. I'm just saying it seems like there was a lot of medical stuff.
My hands and legs swelled up. My hands swelled up to the point I couldn't even get my wedding ring off. And you know, you can say normally it just comes right off. But I could not even begin to get my wedding band off. And Sandy, commented 2 or 3 times that my legs were swollen up. And I hadn't changed anything about my diet or anything. I mean, but there's something. Then we got,
there you go, Miss Ray.
like I said,
you hit the nail on the head.
Right, exactly. And they, it's been proven, and it's repeatable in the laboratory how you can affect people adversely with infrasound and dissonant ultrasound. I mean, they've permanently injured a bunch of the staff of the U.S. Embassy in Cuba using the ultrasound. I mean, that's proven. I mean, we've duplicated it in the lab many times, where we could make people sick. We could make people see things that weren't there, see apparitions and stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no question about it. It's solid science.
I have to address a couple of the comments that were in here, y'all. If it was just the amount of quartz in the area, again, wouldn't it affect everybody? And also, wouldn't there be a constant comments from people in that area? I mean, where I live is absolutely loaded with quartz. I got quartz the size of Volkswagen Beetles coming up through the ground where I live. It's not like I walk around and I'm messed up. If it was the food, a lot of people did eat the same food. But again, wouldn't it be more than just a handful of people? Out of 120, you'd have more than 4 or 5. Just pointing that out. I mean, it seems more it seems different than all that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying we're right. I'm just saying it seems different than all
Let
that.
me say this. I started it. I
No,
was there.
catfish.
Well, me and her both started it. I started it Wednesday morning. I spent the night, woke up Wednesday morning with a migraine from Hades. I was puking 15 minutes after I woke up that morning. So I took something for nausea and everything, and I went on to work because they would never believe that the week I'm camping, I would get a migraine. And as I'm leaving, I talked to Miss Kathy, and she has a UTI that just pops up out of nowhere. So it's not even the same
Types
symptoms
of
everybody. It's different all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you
Katie.
were having mental stress, Spencer.
Yeah, that was my symptoms. Katie, did you have a good time? What did you experience? All that kind of stuff.
I had a blast. I'm so glad I decided to come. It was wonderful meeting everybody, greeting everybody. I had some things that, made me put my head down, put my fingers in my ears, and tell myself to think about nothing.
Did you hear the vocalizations on Friday night?
We heard hoops, both John and I did, as we were sitting out at our tent, but John was telling me, he said, that sounds like people. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But, we heard twice 2 long hoops that sounded a good way off and behind us. And we were up, there was Mark and Beck's camper, and then we were a little bit down. We were beside them up there near the entrance. And also that night, there was something in the woods behind our tent moving back and forth all night long, making small noises, just little pops and cracks and twigs and leaves rustling. I didn't look into it because that's not what I was there for. I've said it before. I say it again. I'm the world's biggest coward. I told John, you hear that? And he said, yeah, they're woods. Woods make noise and sleep. But he's pragmatic like that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna throw this out here because please don't use that world's biggest coward anymore. Because going what you went through and getting the courage to come and do what you did last weekend, girl, that takes bravery. That's bravery. That ain't cowardly. And I was so proud to see you there. I mean, overjoyed because
it was a lot more than I expected, to be honest, in different ways. Camp situation was beautiful. It was great. I loved how there was space, but still everybody could be close. But there was a lot going on there. When I got there, I started getting an ache in my neck, and I kept a tense ache in my neck that just hurt like crazy all weekend. And I just told myself, it's tension. You're sleeping on a cot. There was Saturday morning. It was a Saturday morning. It was the morning that Slade and Larry went camping, went fishing. And right before they left, John
Went
and
fishing and got a flat tire.
Yeah. Our camp's right across the road from theirs. And we were sitting down. It was around 6 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in there. And I was sitting out there, and 2 cars came in down at the entrance, and their lights were shining up the hill. And on the side of Larry's truck, I saw a Bigfoot shape. Sorry, I don't know to word it other than it was a classic Bigfoot shape. Just for an instant, stepped off like it behind Barry, Brandon, and Leanne were right next to us, like it went behind their tent or something. And I almost called the show there because there wasn't nothing that could be seen. I didn't see anything in the area. And I went back in the tent and hid under the covers for 2 hours. And that Sunday morning when it was early, I don't know what time it was. I got woke up by sorry, a sound. It was a sound I both felt and heard, and it was like a thrumming. It was in my chest and in my ear.
It was like a what? Can you speak up a little bit, Katie?
Sorry, I'll put my phone closer. It was like a thrumming sound, like something. It was strange. I don't know how to put it because it both had volume and it had sensation because I could feel it in my chest and hear it in my ears and feel it vibrating like in my jaws. And I plugged my ears, and I think Anthony said that y'all heard a vocal sometime shortly after that.
We did, and what you're talking about right there, whenever Mark first took me over there, the only other time I've been there before we had the meet and greet, when I talk about I went down that trail up towards the green fields and something went, 3 times. I was trying to explain to people while we were there, it wasn't just an audible sensation. It was almost like a directed, like you could feel, I could feel it more than I could hear it. The sound was not that loud, but it's like I could clearly feel and hear that sound. And I know this sounds way out there, but it's like I felt like it was directed for me. Like I felt like it was hitting me.
Well, I was laying on my cot in my hand, and that's what initially woke me up was the feeling of it. And before I put my ears and said, "No, we're not doing this," I heard
Debbie
like
Porch right across from you. Her and Larry were right across from you.
Yep. I can't read what she said.
She said, Katie, I heard that sound in my ears too.
Yep, that was strange. And boy, I waited till it got daylight. And when it got daylight, I got up and run John up and said, "We're going to camp." Yeah. I didn't come back till it was good in daylight. And we pretty much packed up and hauled it, but it was a lot more than expected in a lot of ways, in positive ways, many more positive ways than bad ways. Good. But I don't think there's a way to be there and not experience something after that, because I was seriously trying very hard just to keep my eyes down, not look in the woods. But it was just something there.
Well, Katie, like I said, that is the definition of bravery, is to face your fears and not let them win. That's it. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm telling you, it warmed my heart when I looked up and seen you there. I was like, yes, she's here.
Yeah, I'm glad I came. Like I said, it far outweighed bad. Yeah. It was a wonderful experience.
Well, we're glad you came too, and I appreciate you carrying stuff back with the folks.
Yes.
That's the things have been donated. They've been being put to good use. Thank you all who brought something very much.
Good deal.
Like I said, the most important thing you can give out of everything is your prayers. It's your prayers.
Well, while we're talking about that, let's bring a little bit of the Lord into this. Billy Schilling. If you don't care, to enlighten these people on the guy that you met that come out of the blue and brought you something.
Oh man, he was awesome, man. I can't remember his name. It's on the back of the call. But I had a little fella pull up beside of me. Nice guy. Hopefully he's watching today. I told him about it. He pulled up beside of me where I was camped at, and he come walking up and had a bird dog with him. And he said, how you doing? I said, I'm doing well. How about yourself? And he said, doing good. He said, I was just riding by, and all of a sudden said, God told me to come here. He said that he had something, that he was in a business of his own, and he made turkey calls, and God wanted him to stop and give a turkey call to somebody with a pure heart. And he said, I think that's you.
Oh,
And he gave me this turkey call. Now, I've never seen the guy before. He was a real nice dude, but you know, that just kind of melted my heart when he handed it to me. He said, I think that's you. And
the good out.
Oh, huh?
The good outweighed the bad.
Absolutely. He blessed my heart. He really did.
Billy, is that boy's name? Is he a Calhoun?
Yes.
It's like Jason Calhoun, maybe.
I'm not sure, but he was Calhoun.
Yep. And y'all look, you can look it up. Calhoun, I think it's Calhoun Calls. And I mean, look, I'm just gonna say, Billy, he picked the right man that day. Ain't no doubt.
Hold on. As far as exactly what you're talking about, for everybody that's watching, or you're going to see this video in the future, I'm just trying to tie a lot of this stuff together so you understand, like a lot of us talk internally and everything, and just pay attention to the similarities. Pay attention to the way that everything is having these coincidences. Speaking of God, talking to somebody, odd stuff happening, all of the medical things and everything. And I'm not going to ruin this because I wasn't there whenever this happened, but there's a couple people on here that can speak directly about it. And Gary, if you want to jump on here, you can. I'm only going to make the point about the type of people that we have, the caliber of people that we have. Y'all probably heard the story about one of the meet and greets that I was going to, and Anthony and I, the truck broke down, and we were in the middle of Tennessee. We were about 40 minutes away from Squirrel. Squirrel actually came down there, picked us up, and drove Anthony and I back home almost 4 hours away, turned around and went back. Okay. One of the medical things that we had that was last minute, Mr. Gary Spikes, who is near and dear to all of us, a great, great man. He absolutely helps us a million ways. We all love him. He started having some issues on Sunday. Mark or Kumbo, one of y'all talk about it because I wasn't there.
Go ahead, Kumbo.
Y'all done with me?
Yeah, Gary started having some. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Kumbo, Gary, if you want to jump off, brother, we appreciate you coming. Man, big love.
Big love.
Yes, sir.
Oh, miss you.
One thing I wanted to say before I got off was that speaking of strange things happening, when we got to the man cave, Greg's ankles was swollen up really bad, but you know, he's had all these issues.
Yeah.
And then after I took my shoes off, my legs, my ankles and feet were swollen. Looked like Fred Flintstone feet. I've never had nothing like that before. But yeah, we both had issues with swelling when we got back to the man cave.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to inject that. And I'm going to get off here. Kumbo, thank you so much for taking care of Brother Gary. That was a huge ordeal.
Yeah.
And
it's
I was really proud.
Well,
yeah.
I was proud of you.
Well, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Proud to know you, Kumbo. All right,
Yeah.
guys, I'm getting off here. Love you too, Leanne.
All right, brother.
Love you, Billy.
Love you, bud.
Yep. We'll see you,
love you,
Billy.
Greg.
We lost Katie too. Katie, we love you, girl.
I was just wanted you awesome, Stevie B.
Go ahead, Kumbo.
Well,
thank you, Billy.
Anyway, I wasn't there when Billy was taken to the hospital, and or if I was, I don't remember. I wasn't aware of what was going on. But anyway, so Gary was taken to the hospital there in Sylacauga, and later on, Sandy and I were like I said, it was Sunday, and we were sort of starting to get ready to go home, and Sandy and I had prayed about something, and I just got this feeling in my heart that we didn't need to take off and go home, that we need to make sure that Gary was taken care of. And so I called down at the hospital, and I asked I asked around if anybody heard from Gary in the last little bit, and they said they hadn't. So I called the hospital, and the lady told me that, well, we're fixing to release him. And I said, well, I'll come down there and pick him up. I said, well, could you pass the word along that Coonbo's going to come pick him up? And I asked, and she told me where to pick him up at. Well, as soon as I got down there, I hadn't been there hardly any time. Sandy got out and was going in looking for him. Well, dadgum, before she could even get in the hospital, here came Gary. So we picked him up and brought him back to the campground. And of course, everybody chipped in and helped us break camp. Helped us break camp, and then helped Gary break camp. And Sandy and I talked about it, and both of us had an overwhelming feeling that we needed to take Gary home and to his house, and that that one of us could drive my truck and the other one could drive Gary's truck. And so that's what we did. We talked about it, and we agreed that's what we needed to do.
Pulling a camper going from Alabama to Oklahoma unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we took off. So we got everything loaded up, and off we went. And the crazy thing about it was, I've pulled that camper all over the place with my truck. We didn't even get out of Sylacauga, and the dadgum transmission on my truck overheated just unexpectedly. And Sandy has got a more trailering experience than even me. She worked for the forestry department years ago and used to haul around a dadgum D6 Caterpillar on a big heavy equipment trailer. And plus, she's pulled all kind of horse trailers and fifth wheel cattle trailers and stuff like that all over the place. So she knows how to drive a truck. She was driving our truck, pulling our camper, and our camper doesn't even weigh 5,000 pounds. And that truck's rated for like 11 or 12,000 pounds tow weight. And the transmission overheats. So we stopped and got it cooled down, and off we go again. Everything's going good, and we get up there close to Oxford, Mississippi, and we stop for gas. Well, we get bad gas. And here Gary's truck starts running bad, and we're headed down the interstate, and Sandy starts dropping back, and I called her, and what's going on? She said the transmission's overheating again. So we pull off, and they said, all right, we'll wait on you to get up here. Well, in the meantime, Gary's truck is still acting up and running rough. Well, by the time Sandy got up there, I can't remember. I think we might have got off the interstate and picked up some heat or something. I can't remember. There's so much stuff. But anyway, we finally got on the interstate. Well, we went all the way up there we got into the edge of Arkansas. Oh, going through Memphis, that was real cool. By this time, we had swapped drivers, and Sandy was driving Gary's truck, and I was driving mine, and we were limping along there pretty good. We got into Memphis, and after Interstate 22 ends, there's just some regular streets that you have to drive on for a while before you get on the interstate. Well, I'm driving along, following in behind them, and all of a sudden, this little Toyota 4Runner comes ripping up beside me, whoops over in front of me, and he starts stomping on the brakes. Now, this is well after dark. This is, I don't know, 9:30, 10:30 at night, something like that. And they were trying to cut me out from, away from Sandy and Gary. So I did the normal thing that any decent Southern guy did. I just reached in the console, pulled out my 9mm, rolled down the window so they could make sure that they could see it real good. And I just I didn't point it right at them, but I made sure they could see it. And their eyes got big and they got off the gas and they, got out of there. They drifted back behind me and disappeared.
That's a true story. He was on the phone with me when that happened.
In Memphis.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's when you and I were on the phone. Right. And you were like, these blankety blanks is trying to run me off the road. He goes, hold on a minute. And he goes, that solved it. I said, what'd you do? He said, well, I introduced him to my little friend. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, what they don't realize is I had the gun. In Missouri, you used to have to qualify every other year to keep your concealed carry permit. And I never, only one time ever, the first time I got it, did I shoot less than the first in the class. And I was only 1 point behind the guy that was shooting number one. And he was using a target pistol. And I was using, and I was using my little Smith & Wesson, a 9mm that I always carry. And, but they didn't know that I could shoot that thing either handed just as good. And, anyway, that's beside the point. So we go on. And so we get through Memphis and we stop for gas again over there in West Memphis and off we go. We get up about, I don't know, we didn't get very far out of West Memphis. And Gary's truck starts acting up again, and my truck starts acting up again. So we ended up getting off the interstate in this dadgum little old Love's truck stop out in the freaking middle of nowhere. And lo and behold, Gary has a crack in one of the metal fittings that the heater hose goes to on the intake manifold of his truck. We're talking about a steel fitting that's cracked all of a sudden. And he's lost most of his antifreeze. And my truck, don't know what in the hell is wrong with it. It just decided it was going to the transmission was going to overheat again. So there we are in this parking lot, and we don't know what we're going to do. We're all three of us aggravated. And all of a sudden, I got this feeling. The Holy Ghost spoke to me. He said, y'all need to stop. Y'all need to pray, and y'all need to depend on Heavenly Father. So I said to Gary and to Sandy, I said, we need to pray. So the three of us huddled together out there in the dadgum parking lot of a Love's truck stop at like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. And we got in a huddle. We put our arms around each other and we prayed. And I don't know what I said, but I called down the power of God to help us and the Holy Ghost to help us. And all I know is that after I prayed, when I said amen, it was just like a big weight was lifted off of me. And Gary and Sandy said the same thing. Our attitudes had changed. And Gary got the idea. We said, well, we need some JB weld or something like that to seal that crack. And Gary went in the Love's there, and he found some quick set epoxy. But the trouble was, it was not thick. It was, and as soon as we mixed it up, as soon as you put it on that hot engine, it just turned into water, just ran off instantly. But what we did is we'd mix some up, we'd put it on there, and some would soak in, the rest of it would run off. We did that 3 or 4 times. And then he wrapped it up in electrical tape. I said, Gary, that electrical tape ain't going to do nothing. I said, that engine's way too hot. It's going to come right off. And he says, well, it's better than nothing. I said, yeah. And I said, well, let's do some duct tape. He said, no, I don't. He said, I don't think we need all that adhesive all over the duct tape. And I'm thinking, well, dadgum, if epoxy and duct tape can't fix it, it can't be fixed, But so anyway, so we filled Gary's. I think we went through 4 gallons of antifreeze, and we filled it up. we ended up buying 4 gallons. I don't know how much we went through. We filled him back up with antifreeze and ran it for a while, got all the bubbles out of the system. And I had just said a prayer over my truck, and I didn't know what to do. You know, like, you know, and I got in it. And I got the wild ass idea going down the highway is I'm not going to run it with the gas pedal. I'm just going, and I don't know where this came from. I said, I'm just going to get that son of a gun up on whatever speed we want to go at. I'm going to set the cruise control, and I'm not going to touch the gas pedal. I'm just going to use the accelerate and decelerate buttons to speed up and slow down. And that's what we did. We went all the way to Gary's house. And I mean, we drove another, I guess from then, probably another 6 hours or so. And we got to Gary's house. We came rolling into Gary's house right at daylight. And I'm telling you what, there's these special places in the world that when you see them and when you get there, just everything feels right about it. And it's just got a beauty that you can't describe. When we came rolling up in Gary's yard, I felt so at peace and at home, and that, man, that it was just such a special place. And I instantly had a farm envy. but I don't know what it was about it. It was just one. And Sandy was saying, he said, wow, man, this is beautiful. It was just beautiful. And so we got there, and we no sooner had got there is what the hospital called, and they said, apparently, now I don't know, you'd have to ask Gary about this, but apparently the hospital in Sylacauga must have transferred the information. And this was Monday morning about 8 o'clock. Apparently they had transferred the information from Sylacauga to Ada, to Gary's doctors, because it wasn't just a little while. And they said that for him to come to the ER there. And I think that's right. So his daughter took him, and Sandy and I caught some, we laid down and oh, this is another thing that was and yes, the electrical tape did last for 6 hours. And the other amazing thing was that neither Sandy or I have driven straight through like that in years. Normally I can't go like that anymore. Somehow we drove straight through. We never stopped and napped or anything, and that I remember. And we safely got home, got Gary home. But so we slept Monday during the day, and Gary told us, I talked to Gary. Meantime, they put him in the hospital, and so we talked on the phone. He told me a good Chevrolet dealership to go to down in I can't remember, something Valley, Paul's Valley, Oklahoma, about a 30-minute drive. So I called him up, and I had an appointment for Tuesday morning, and I was sitting down there when the doors opened. And I'll have to say one thing: I've never seen a car dealership any cleaner than that, and any cleaner and neater and organized as that place was. And they got me in there, and of course my truck was 5,000 miles out of warranty, but they still treated me right, and they gave me some of the parts, no charge. The dadgum nearly $30 a quart transmission fluid, which I needed 15 quarts of. They only charged me $9, about $9.47. Charged me their cost. The main part that they needed had to be replaced was a valve up inside the transmission. The mechanic that was working on it, he said, "Well, I got one of them valves laying in my toolbox here, and been in there for over a year. I don't know where it came from or whatever, but Oh, wow. And so they gave me the valve and put it in for me. And the dadgum shop charge hours was $200 an hour. And that thing was in there on the rack for 7.5 hours.
Oh no.
And I'm sitting there figuring this up in my mind and all this. And every time they found something, they'd bring a piece of paper out and have to sign it. It was okay to fix that. And I'm up well over $2,000. And they got all done. And the guy comes walking back here and he's got this real, sad look on his face. He said, well, Mr. Baker, he said, I hate it. Your truck was just out of warranty. And, we talked to our troubleshooter specialist, that covers this region of the country. And he says, we hate to charge you, but it's going to be $816.
Wow.
And I said, that's fantastic. Where'd I sign? But anyway, I couldn't believe it. But anyway, I was expecting to pay probably tax, title, and everything up close to $3,000. But anyway, and so everything worked perfect on the way back. And got to talk to Gary several times. Oh, he had told me about his boogers that live out there, and they were definitely around. We could tell that. And the third night we were there. Let's see. We got in. Well, we technically weren't there Sunday night or Monday. We were there Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night. Wednesday night, we were in the bed sound asleep, and we were planning on leaving the next morning. And it was a lovely, cool night. So I had all the windows in the camper open. Somewhere around 1:32 in the morning, something like that, between 1 and 2, all of a sudden Niffy came running and just dove in the bed with us and just buried down. And I heard Joe had been sleeping on the sofa in there, and I heard him hop down off the sofa, and I heard him growling and growling and growling. I'd never heard Joe growl like that ever. And something was definitely going on. And I figured that the boogers had come up there to see us, and were just checking us out. And he wouldn't shut up. And so Sandy says, well, I got bad feelings about this. Would you get up and close all the windows? And I said, oh, honey, I don't want to have to turn the air conditioning back on. And she said, well, I don't like it. Close all the windows, please. All right. I got up and closed all the windows and pulled down the shades. And then I decided to step outside and look around a little bit. So I stepped out there in my drawers, had a flashlight. And I shined around, looked around. I walked around the trailer there, the camper, and nothing. And something told me I need to look over there to the east, towards where Gary had a pond, where it used to have a pond over there, till the neighbor screwed up the dam. But anyway, and I shined over there, and I saw eye shine, and it was eyes about a foot apart, close to it. It looked like about 100 yards away, and I ain't never seen eyes that high, tall off the ground. And I saw a 12-footer down in Texas a couple of times, and this thing was much taller than that. Gary had told me that the big boy, he called him the big boy out there, that he was way up tall. And the dude, when I put the light on him, he jumped in behind some tree branches and tree limbs that when I looked out there during the day, the next morning, those things were 14 feet off the ground. And I've never seen a booger that big. and this dude was fast. When I put the light on him, he wasn't there more than a second and a half, and he was boom behind those branches. And so when Mr. Gary Spikes tells you that he's got big boogers on his place, you best believe it. And
well, I'm glad that you got to see Oklahoma, and I'm glad that which you've been there before, but I'm glad that you got Gary back home. Gary got taken care of. I hate it that you had those problems.
Well, it's one of those things. I think, Heavenly Father wanted Gary home, and the old adversary, the old devil wanted to try to keep him pinned down in Alabama. But or didn't want him to get. Let's just say he didn't want to keep him in Alabama. He just didn't want him to get home. But he got home where he could be with his family and everything. And I'm just proud that we were able to. I'm not proud. I just felt like that we were doing what we were supposed to do.
Awesome.
And yeah.
I want to correct something I done a while ago. I looked that boy up. The guy that looks like the guy's name that gave Billy that turkey call, his name is Ryan Calhoun. And if you go on, check him out on Facebook. He's on there. Says his profile says he's a digital creator and he builds turkey calls. So y'all check him out. Ryan Calhoun.
Where's he at?
He's going to be in Alabama, Mark. It don't really say, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be somewhere close in Alabama to where you're at, probably.
Speaking of which, Craig, that turkey call that you donated for the raffle, that was awesome, man. Thank you very much, Craig. John, Phyllis?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, cool.
Cool. I have never had so much fun in my whole life.
Here we go.
And I have never bonded with people so fast in my life. And I'm old. But oh my God, people walk up to me that knew me on Facebook and go, I love your post on Facebook. You're Phyllis. It was unbelievable. Me and John had the time of our lives.
Hey,
and the food. Oh my God.
John's a celebrity now from that short little video of the damn raking the spider out in the tent.
He's my
Blame Misty.
He's my Spider-Man.
I couldn't get my phone on quick enough to get that. I wish to God I'd have got him squealing. That was the best part.
That poor guy. After that happened to him, he's rolling the tarp up and a scorpion crawls up his leg. It's like, it was too funny because he's squealing like a little girl. Sorry, baby. And so I'm walking over to talk to Wanda and Abby, and they look up at me and go, we thought that was you over there squealing. And I'm like, no, it wasn't me.
I'm telling you, I thought John was talking. He was speaking in tongues over about that spider.
Oh, hold on. Look, for those of y'all that have never ridden with Kumbo, first of all, Kumbo got his driver's license test at the Talladega National Speedway. And so if it took him 14 hours to get there, you can bet the average person would have taken 2.5 days. But I guarantee you, Gary Spikes didn't have a boring ride there. I guarantee you that.
No.
We know how he is. That is the king of the skinny pedal right there.
The skinny pedal. Let's not go into that again. We'll get Mark stirred up.
But we had a lot of trouble getting there. It was like things fell off the trailer before we got out of town. Then the tarp rips, and we're like, where did we eat at? We were in Alabama, way up there, and I'm like, if one more thing happens, we're going home. This is not meant to be, but oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't go home because it was wonderful.
Lord, man, Spencer had to argue with Squirrel for a dadgum 2 weeks. She just had this horrible feeling. She's like, it ain't meant to happen, ain't meant to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's going. You might as well come on. We need all the good people we can get.
I kept calling Mark. I thought it was going to be because of the storm. I literally, I had the worst feeling ever. I was like, we can't do this.
In Misty's defense, which I never jump on her side, she did say she had bad feelings for a couple weeks. She did think it was about the storm, but she did say she just had bad feelings.
That's like LPL.
We had 4 people fall out and need immediate medical attention, and one need to get. And y'all, just like the thing with Kumbo and Gary, in the middle of Saturday, the main day, Mark and Rebecca had to jump in their truck right in the middle of the day whenever everything was going to happen. The picture, the raffle, the storytelling, all that kind of stuff. Had to jump in their truck and get somebody out of there and get them either medical attention or to the airport. But anyway, and go all the way to Birmingham and then come back. Plus, they were there for the whole thing. We got good people. That we know.
It was so good for Dale and Billy to fill in, and I felt like we had a concert and didn't have to pay a cover charge. They were really good.
Yes.
Yeah. I was really glad to meet Dale Boswell in person for the first time. We've talked so many times on the phone and stuff and sent stuff back and forth. You know, I honestly thought that I had surely met him somewhere in person before, but I really hadn't. But it was so great to get to see him and Robin in person.
I'll tell you how fun a guy that Dale is. Did y'all see Dale? He had the fake beard, the big long beard, like
he messed me up with that.
I missed that.
Somebody got pictures.
I got a picture.
Dale came over and got pictures of me, him, and Billy. We was all 3 standing there. Dale had his beard on to match me and Billy, and I was dying laughing. That was awesome. So I don't know who's got those pictures, but please post them on the Facebook page.
So, you know, it's amazing just seeing Pyromedic on there. The last outing, we were blessed to have Pyromedic there, on-site EMT there at LBL, and here Pyro couldn't make this, but then we got Brian Wallins was there again, another on-site EMT, which. He was right. He was involved in all that, you know, helping check everybody out.
Better. Yeah,
we were very blessed that, you know.
Yeah, maybe Christy. I know Christy. I reckon has been back to the hospital.
I think she did have to go. Well, she was in there after she got home, but I think she's okay now.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so John, Phyllis. While y'all were there, did you have anything?
Phyllis did.
Yes, when I was cooking bacon, because I cooked breakfast for the single guys, and then the last day I had so much that I shared it with lots of people. But I heard a grunt huff like. I think he wanted my bacon.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, most
right behind our tent too.
Spencer, I got to throw this out.
That might have been Fat Rock doing that. I don't know.
Well, you know, we had Ashby on one side snoring and Noble on the other side snoring. So you know, who knows?
It could have been any of them grunting.
Hey, Slade was down there about 30 yards south of us, and he got to snoring, and it was making the sides of our camper go in and out, you know.
Hey, you weren't near us. John snores like a freight train.
I called him in. Hey,
well, speaking
of sleep, it was so surreal. We were at the campfire. We're all sitting around, and me and Michael X, and we're all, I guess, telling stories. It got to be about 2-3 in the morning, and I was sound asleep, just zonked out. And all of a sudden, I hear this, "Hey, hey," and I wake up, and Misty's in my face, and I'm like, "This is weird. What is Misty?" And I realized, oh, I'm at the campfire. Oh, wow. Misty made me go back to the tent.
Yeah, Missy's sitting home.
But, well, we
Wake
got
up and go to
home.
sleep.
Where's Patrick Noble at? Why come he ain't in here today?
I
don't
know. Well, he's probably still asleep.
Oh, he's going to West Virginia.
So, all right. You know, the whole time I was up there, I felt real comfortable with Hollins. I didn't get spooked out at all. You know, it's kind of like if you want to have something happen, you know, just be calm and don't go looking for them. So we were just having a good old time. I nearly got spooked out. But we got home, and where we live, it's more spooky than anywhere I've ever been. So the other night, the Northern Lights were kind of supposed to be in our area, and I was at work, and Phyllis goes out to go look and see what she can see, and I'll let her tell you the story.
Oh my God. Well, I think it was probably an owl because it had kind of yellow greenish eyes. But it made this weird whooping sound at me, which I hear all the time when I'm out in the garden. I hear some weird sounds out there. I haul my butt back in the house. Forget the Northern Lights, which are on my bucket list, but
Yeah, it's really weird. We got there. But we did phased out. But I never hear anything out there. One time I did, but it's been, you know, February. So that's it.
I'm ready to cut out of here.
Guys, it was
I love you guys. I love you guys.
We can't wait for the next one.
We can't wait for the next one. I will, at the good Lord willing, I'm never missing another one.
And no spiders.
And no spiders and no scorpions.
Hey, Phyllis, would you say that this was kind of like a family reunion?
Yeah.
Yes, Greg. Unreal. You know, I'd already met you and Spencer and Flat Rock and a lot of other people, but I just, as soon as I got there, I looked for Misty. It's like, I got to go find my Misty.
Everybody goes and looks for Misty.
She's a sweetheart. Oh my God. She's precious. And it was so funny. Debbie Porch got a kick out of John calling me precious. She's like, I want somebody to call me precious.
I got to meet Larry, and he's really cool.
John got to meet his
And
heroes.
Kumbo.
Larry and Kumbo.
Kumbo.
That was
a bucket list.
That was his bucket list.
Yeah. And so many more guys that I didn't get to meet and talk to and tell
What are we
stories
looking at?
Because what's going on? What's going on, Kumbo?
Kumbo's showing us something.
This is looking out my back. This is looking out my door at my next. There's the old barn.
They say bye.
And this is looking west. This is looking
Bye,
west,
Phyllis.
and that's northwest, and that's north, and that's to the east. But this is where I'm living now. Finally got back on the farm.
Cool.
And that was a cotton patch that was behind the house. Well, I ain't settled in. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
And look at all that. Y'all see that mess? I am not settled in. Yeah. I got to get on.
John, you and Phyllis, thanks for jumping on, y'all.
All right.
Yeah.
We loved it. We'll be back for the next one. Y'all have a good one.
All right, we'll talk to y'all soon. Thank you.
All right. Look, if they're still in chat, I want to call out. I want to call out the blacks. I want to know where they're at. I mean,
they're getting on here.
Awesome.
They just texted. They're getting on in 1 minute. There they are.
Oh.
Look at them. Hold up.
Stop pushing buttons.
We're both trying to get them on. I want them on just as much as you do.
Awesome.
Hey, y'all.
All right.
Hey, y'all.
We're just gonna jump into this, and
Oh my God. Lord Jesus.
we just
I'm out.
I know it.
Yes. All right. For those that don't know Chad and Erica, y'all want to tell people kind of how y'all got hooked up with this crazy tribe of folks?
Yes. So can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, we got to make sure.
Okay.
Number one, thank you to Roger Williams for speaking up to us. If he hadn't have said anything to us, we would not be here right now. We were at the Cryptids conference in McMinnville, Tennessee, which is actually where I was raised. But so we were there, started talking to Roger with Squatch and Holler, and then next to him was Greg House. And so we were all chatting, and we were just kind of like mesmerized by their stories. But so Greg mentioned the meet and greet to us, and I'm like, honey, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So eventually we decided, and then we were binge watching Woodwalkers forever, and we just loved it all. So we had some problems getting to the meet and greet, but
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
They had car problems also.
Car problems, and it was long and drawn out, and but I'm like, honey, we've got to go.
The story is, so after the car broke down, we had multiple tow trucks coming to pick it up, and finally the car dealership called us back and said they'd come get it. And anyway, so they gave us this little car. What was it? A Kia Soul. And I'm like, we can't take our camping stuff in that thing. This thing is too tiny. Anyway, so we
and also half of our stuff was still in our vehicle that was at the car dealership at this point. So it was crazy.
But we were sitting here and we'd had a couple drinks, and she's like, I really want to go to Alabama. So Saturday morning we were making it no matter what, we were going to get there. If we had to pedal bicycles or we were coming, it didn't matter. So, and Spencer, thank you. You were the first person we ran into there, and you were like right away, you knew who we were and made us feel comfortable. It was awesome. The whole experience was awesome.
It was like a meet and greet preview, but it was amazing.
So just so everybody knows, Chad and Erica, they're like part of us. I mean, they're just that. You ever meet somebody and as soon as you meet them, you're like, yeah, they fit right in. They're part of the family and everything. Chad and Erica are the new people on the list that are like definitely one of us. Now I have to say, Erica's an asshole to some degree, and Chad's backing her up. But anyway, they fit right in. They are great people, and so y'all, you did have even though you only got there on Saturday. I hope you had a good time. I hated about the trouble getting there and everything. Did you guys, while you were there, did you happen to hear anything, see anything? It's no big deal if you didn't, but I just wanted to know, since this was your first time doing something like that.
Well, Misty was nice enough to take us on a walk. I guess that's up toward the green field.
Yeah.
We didn't go all the way. It was very late at night. But she took us, and I think other people heard maybe tree knocks, but we didn't see anything. And we have never had an encounter. We've never seen anything. So I just wanted to let everybody know that.
I've always believed in extraterrestrial. It's such a small universe. Excuse me, such a big universe.
Did you meet Wendell? I mean, there was proof of extraterrestrial life while we were there.
Yes,
that's hilarious.
Yes, we did meet Wendell. Yes.
See.
Yeah. It was. I have to say, you know, we've camped a lot over the past 10 years that we've been together, and that was one of the most fun we'd ever have camping. That, you know, meeting people and everybody. Just right away, it was like, hey, oh yeah, you're Chad, you're Erica, and I'm like, yeah, that's Verby, that's Greg, that's, you know, we all knew each other right away.
Yep. So
that was, you know, Mark and Rebecca too. It was just saw Kumbo, kind of starstruck when I saw Kumbo a little bit after all the stories and everything, but just, you know, I'm one of those people. I want the experience of a Bigfoot or a dog, just the noises, whatever. I don't care. But I also think that Misty kind of opened our eyes a little bit as we were going through the woods at night. And you know, I'm not looking, like I'm just in the woods walking, but she's pointing like spider eyes and stuff out. And I'm like, well, this is stuff I've never seen before. And I hike all the time. So it was just really neat with that experience. So,
yep.
And then, you know, Erica's gift of this thing.
The mushroom of power.
Look, I'm glad that was kind of discreet, because look, we didn't need a fight to break out in camp. The women rolling, fighting over the fire starter.
Oh my
I seriously need to send you the picture of the mushrooms.
No.
No,
Just so you know what they look like.
Hey, look, that baby. She whittled that out of. She said what? Fat wood.
Yeah, she said fat wood.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Of course, undoubtedly that's your favorite kind.
We're not.
Hey,
Hey, this is supposed to. You save that stuff for y'all show. This is supposed to be a serious show.
I just look. I'm telling you, Wanda. I think Wanda was let down. I told her the next day that Misty had passed the torch. Wanda looked
Hey.
all down and out.
I got Wanda and Erica both the smell of it.
Oh,
I have to say, Bud commented that he hated miss seeing y'all. But just like down there in that one corner, Pat Rance and Willie were there. Joe Parker and Pat were there. Bud and Angie showed up. They were there. Flat Rock was down there. And I mean, we just had people. We had people that were like people everywhere, all over that place. Bud, the reason you didn't probably have a lot of time to see them is because they got there Saturday afternoon, right whenever we were starting everything. And then it did get dark quick. It got dark while we were doing the damn raffle and people couldn't read the raffle tickets. And Bud and Angie, they just like go all over the country. Bud must have millions of dollars in the bank or something.
I want to go with them so bad. I just want to ride in the back seat. I don't care. I don't have to do anything. I just want to listen to the conversation the whole time. It's like riding with Mark and Rebecca. Sure. I'm telling you. I love going with them. I ride with them every time I get a chance to.
Angie was another one that gives me shit all the time. And then Bud jumped in there this week on Facebook. Bud, don't think I'm not watching you. Look, we need to get Pat and Joe on here at some point to talk. Pat and Joe have had a lot of experience at Hollins.
I'm just telling you though, the damn spatula, that's the best one in a while. That is.
Oh my gosh, I love that, Erica. I'm telling you that omelet had nothing to do with that spatula.
No, his metal spatula was tearing it also.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I use that metal spatula all the time. I know what I'm doing with
on
that.
it.
Hey, Erica,
I know exactly what I'm doing with that. Now it took me about 3 times.
There you go, Spencer. There's all the silicone.
There ain't no doubt in my mind.
Hey,
the metal is for the cast iron.
Wanda was
exactly.
Wanda was like lightning when she pointed out. She goes, "Does Spencer realize that you don't flip a omelet, you fold it?" And I went,
No. I'm not French. We flip it.
Me and JR were sitting and watching that. And I said, JR, I said, you got to watch this video. And I was sitting there the whole time going, move it, Spencer. Scrape it forward. I'm like, you ain't got enough butter in there.
Spencer?
Yes. Oh, the comments of more butter. What's the deal? Why not saving butter? What's the deal?
No. The whole point was she gave me the silicone spatula because she saw me using a metal one in a non-stick skillet. So I was making a point that like she probably don't even use butter because she's like, oh, it's a non-stick skillet. So we don't need anything. You're lucky I put butter in there. That damn thing definitely wouldn't have come out.
So we were sitting outside when we watched the video, and I don't know if you guys remember from sitting around the campfire that her laugh is the loudest laugh. And I swear she started laughing and neighbors were flipping on their lights and everything. And
I can't help it. It's just me.
Don't ever hold it back. Never.
Never.
Yeah, I was like, it was Del Boswell. I think his video with the orb. I'm like, oh my God, that's my freaking laugh. In that
in the background of the video.
I'm sorry, Del.
That's the one we kept hearing that where we was at, I think. But I said that's either Misty or somebody else up there. So.
It's just me.
Now we do have one story. It doesn't really have to do with Bigfoot or anything, but
so like I said, we haven't had any experiences. We've not been struck by lightning. But I did die from a car accident. When they found me, I did not have a heartbeat, and they used a defibrillator to bring me back. And I was 16 when that happened. That was in the year 2000. So I've seen things. I'm not like saying I'm gifted in any way, but
Right.
I've seen some things like out of the corner of my eye, shapes, like body shapes, like black kind of figures, just black. That's happened to me twice, but yeah, I haven't had any other types of experiences.
Wow.
Well, give it time.
That's
Well, I don't discount anything, you know. I'm like, all that stuff could happen. I try to keep an open mind. I don't invite things like that, but I do keep an open mind.
Wow.
You know that less than 3% of the people that they use defibrillators on actually come back.
Wow.
Less than 3%. Yeah.
And I don't know how long. It had to have been several minutes, because you know, I'm told the story of what happened. I don't remember
Right.
the actual car accident. And I had a traumatic brain injury from it, so I struggled with that too. But it had to have been several minutes, and one of the people, witnesses, if you want to say, they saw us passing, you know, they passed us in this 2-lane traffic, and she was like, we turned around, we heard the crash, we turned around, and when we got there and the paramedics got there, they were like, no, there's a girl there too. They only found the driver, and they're like, no, there's a girl there too. And so they found me in the opposite ditch of the road. And so it had to have been several minutes that I didn't have a heartbeat.
Wow.
Stacy, Mark kind of alluded to that at some point. If y'all want to talk about it directly, I'd like to hear about it personally firsthand. You're more than welcome to jump on here right now if you want to, but we're going on 2 hours now.
Right. Yeah.
Erica, I was dead for right at 2 minutes when they brought me back. So I understand.
Oh, wow.
I'm not psychic or anything like that. Nothing. I just think maybe it might change your ability to perceive things a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
You was too close to the other side to go back.
Yeah, I'll give y'all details on it, you know, later on, but I figured y'all be wrapping up pretty soon.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool as crap. Hey, we may have to get you on Night Owls.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, get them on. Get them on. They'll fit in.
What I'm talking about. Well, all right. Well, like meeting everybody. So like I keep telling folks, you know, kind of like what y'all were exposed to the group as far as like watching the videos and our programs and being in like the Facebook and chatting with people. That's what I tell people when they come to like a meet and greet. It's absolutely like you're walking up on family you hadn't saw in a long time.
Mm-hmm. I would say even better.
I would say definitely. I'm not trying to be mean to my family, but my family's not close. And what I felt getting there that night, you guys were way closer as family than my family was. So thank you.
All right.
Well, we are family, and for everybody that's watching this, it's an open invite. You can meet us at any time, or feel free to jump in, make a comment, or get with us on Facebook or anything like that. We like to have everybody all involved.
Yeah. Now, Misty, have you sent them the adoption papers yet?
No, I'm out of printer ink, but I'm gonna get on that.
Kumbo, why do you have to install a dishwasher in a brand new home? They didn't do that for you?
Not a good one.
Because the one that came in there is the cheapest piece of junk that you can buy, and I've got a brand spanking new KitchenAid right down the road here in the old house. And I had just put in a few months ago.
I can be down there in 8.5 hours and I'll do it for you, but I need you to give me a ride back home.
Forget it. No, I can install a dishwasher standing on my head with my hands tied behind my back in the dark, naked.
Okay.
We didn't need that last part.
Yeah.
Is that Sandy laughing in the background?
What?
It sounded like Sandy laughing in the background. Mark, Becca, y'all got anything else you want to add before we get going?
No, we really enjoyed it. Glad everybody had a good time.
It was great seeing everybody. I hate that I didn't get to spend time actually with people, but it was great seeing everybody.
It was.
Yeah.
All of us did what we had to do to make things happen. And when Coombo told me he was carrying Gary home to Oklahoma, I said, "Sure about that, Coombo?" And he said, "Well, the Lord told me to." And I said, "Well, if he told you, I'm backing out of the way, because I done learned when he tells somebody to do something, there better not be nobody getting in the way." And sound like he carried y'all all the way to Oklahoma, even though you had trouble, because he always says, he don't say it's going to be easy. He said, "I'm just going to get you there." But now how you get there might be a whole different ball game. But
yeah,
so I'm glad all that turned out good. And
absolutely,
I was really worried to death about them heading that way. And but when they got there next morning, it was like a ton of bricks come off of me. So,
well, I'd like to say one thing. I mean, apparently, as far as we know, like our tribe members that's here with us all the time, I reckon these last couple of storms that everybody's made it out with their lives. And I know some of them's had some problems and stuff, but at least they're all still here with us. And it looks like Moggs and Stevie B, they made it okay. I think they're still having some trouble, and I don't know if they got power and all back home, but all these folks, I mean, North Carolina, Florida, I mean, the list would be so long for me to name off all the folks that's our friends from Florida and stuff. But just keep praying for everybody, y'all. I mean, not just our group, but everybody as a whole. There's a lot of people still in a world of hurt right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell
you what,
Kumbo, you got any parting comments?
No, I guess I did want to say, Pat Rance, I guess he may be an undercover body shop guy, because he sent me pictures of the damage to his cabin down there in Florida, and his meter base and breaker box was all torn all apart. And then yesterday I got a picture of it all put back together and working, and he said he got his power. He was ready for the power to be hooked up. I looked at that thing, and I said, well, now he originally had his original meter box looked just like it. It was all painted to match his house just like that. And I said, Pat, did you fix that meter base and everything? He said, yeah, I just hammered it all, did some body work on it, and it works just fine. And you can't tell it's ever been touching. The original pictures he sent me, it was torn all to pieces. I thought, there's no way he'd ever get it put back together. But he did. So Pat's he came through good. His house was only out of power just a short while, and now he's got his cabin put back together and ready for power. So there were a lot of folks that, like you said, dodged a bullet. And I was glad to get to meet a bunch of new folks, and you Chad and Eric. I don't know if I officially met you or not. I can't remember.
For us,
but you were talking to somebody else, and we didn't want to interrupt, so we said hi, and then we walked off.
Oh, okay. But I remember seeing you, and but yeah, we're just I don't know. I met Mark the first time back around 01, 02, something like that, and over there at Chehaw State Park, and I don't know. I can't remember how I met. Well, I met Greg through Bill White, our mutual friend, and Spencer. I messed up and left the dadgum farm gate open here a couple of years ago, and dadgum, I found him squatting there on the back of the farm, and but he did have one redeeming quality, so I let him hang around a while. He brought a thermal with him.
Yeah.
And he got some real good thermal video of 3 of my boogers up in a tree.
Oh.
So, and like I
That
said,
was
Mark and Becca, you know, they're just like another brother and sister to me. So,
Yeah.
But
Hey,
anyway,
Spence,
yeah, this is a good this is a good group of folks.
Man, yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kumbo.
Spencer, while I'm thinking about it, did you let Wendell keep his safety gear and his badge and stuff? Is it?
Yeah. Yes, Wendell's probably got that stuff mounted. It's either on a mannequin waiting to be kind of like whenever you see Batman in the Batcave and like they open the vault and that the Batman outfit is already on the little body thing. He's either got it like that or it's in a picture frame. One or the other right now.
I figured he would have brought it last night, but he didn't. I figured
Or
he
maybe
had
he's
it on to come down here.
Or maybe he's patrolling the streets with it on. Maybe he's walking around the neighborhood.
He probably is walking up to him and then going, hold on. I need to take your picture.
Randolph.
Bigfoot Patrol. You get Wendell.
Aniston, Alabama's got a new superhero.
It does. It does. He's got pictures. Can you imagine being Wendell's neighbor? Because you know you come outside in the morning in your bathrobe to pick up the newspaper or something. Wendell's over there zooming in, taking pictures.
Wendell done a good job, y'all. Once again, he walked all over. He was the welcome wagon.
Hey, who else was Billy Schilling? What
Yeah.
a nice man.
Yes.
I loved meeting him.
He really is. Billy, we have so many good folks. I guess my big thing before we close down, I would say we had a good meet and greet. It was in an active area. For anybody that wants to go there, I'm sure pretty much everybody's figured out where it is by now. It was in an active area. A lot of people had stuff happen, but the main thing was the meet and greet. And it really is, it's kind of like a family reunion for a lot of us, just getting together and hanging out with our friends and everything. And we just have really good people. I mean, whenever I say we, I include myself in that, but I'm not so good, but a lot of them are really, really great. We have really good people. And if you think these people that are driving other people home 4 states away, people that are rushing other people to the hospital and everything like that, you think that any of them are making up or exaggerating anything about Bigfoot? We don't even care about Bigfoot. We just know that's real, and we go out there and hang out with it and talk about it and everything. But we have really good people. I'm very proud of the people that all know each other.
Yep.
Anyway, what are y'all laughing at down there in the corner when I'm trying to close the show?
Sorry.
Listen,
It was
you know
Billy's
this.
post.
Me and Greg
What'd he
was
say?
talking about that though, about how we've got such a good group of people that when we get together, how it just makes people happy. You know what I mean? And it's almost like something was trying to keep us from getting together with all the stuff that happened. I mean, I was behind JR and Greg, and we hadn't been just a couple miles from the man cave, and I thought I was about to watch them have a horrible wreck. And I didn't know what to do. I just backed off and just started praying out loud. And Greg was sitting there praying under his breath and trying to keep it together. JR, I don't know. I believe he probably shit himself, just didn't want to say nothing. I'm telling you right now, I bet he's still hiding some
We're going to get
seafoam.
JR on here, and you're not coming on one day. It's
JR
gonna be me and
held
Greg.
it together. There was no need in us panicking. All I could do was hold it in the road and hope for the best. And I mean, we went the better part of a quarter of a mile. My trailer was trying to push us, and it got to whooping back and forth simply because we had 300 pounds of weight.
I don't know why.
Slid too far back. We slid it up in the trailer a little further, and that thing pulled just like new. But yeah, we had a big giant cooler full of ice, about 300 pounds of ice, and it was slid toward the back of the camper too far. And we went over the hill. It started fishtailing. And I mean, I knew what was happening. It was just, you can't touch the brakes. If I touched the brakes, we would have jackknifed. And all I could do is let it go. Misty was behind us watching this whole thing unfold. And we had the guy passing us going down this big hill. And JR looks over and this guy's going by us. And that's when the trailer started bouncing. And all I could do was just hold the truck in the road. And we got nearly to the bottom. I just nailed it. I opened that Hemi up. When I did, the truck went to pulling and it straightened out. And by then we're running like 80-something mile an hour pulling the trailer. And I just let off. And we coasted over a half
80
before we pulled over. And then we moved the cooler. The thing pulled. I mean, I pulled it another 250 miles and it never wiggled. But just by having a cooler with 300 pounds of ice sitting about 7 feet or 8 feet further back, it nearly caused us to go on to meet the Lord. But we knew it was bad. But when we pulled over and Misty pulled in behind us, and she just has this look, all of a sudden she's just like tears start rolling and she's shaking.
I just start bawling.
Bye, Pam.
Yeah.
Bye, Pam. Thank you so much for the painting. I love it. It's hanging up too, by the way.
Paintings are awesome. Pam does great.
Yeah, they are awesome.
No, that really it wasn't just going side to side. I seen it as soon as it started moving just a little bit. I just go, oh shit! And I mean, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and it was going back and forth and side to side. I mean, how in the world it didn't turn over? I'm telling you, I just started praying. I was like, please, 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 please. And when he got it stopped and I realized they were okay, I just started just bawling. It scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it was. I mean, one of those deals. I mean, there was no need to panic. I knew what was going on, and I knew if I'd panic, hit the brakes. Yeah, we'd have been jackknife off in a ravine. But I mean, it just I mean, basically the good Lord just held it down, and here we go.
It was weird energy for the whole week. Everything.
Well, that's the point that we were making when we were talking about it. All of this stuff happening, trying to keep people from making it there, trying to keep, get people to leave. I mean, look how people got sick and the ones that didn't leave. Me, I experienced a lot of really bad headaches and pain just shooting up in the back of my neck the whole time. And it was really weird. And I'm still so freaking tired. No, let me tell y'all. Y'all know for the most part, I do not sleep a whole lot. I'm usually up daylight. And no, I came in at 14, 15 hours. I crashed and was just out. And then I have slept like that every day since I've been back. And it's like I can't get caught up on my sleep.
Yeah. I've been tired all week. I've slept more this week than I've slept in a long time.
It took me a long time. Today is my first day of actually feeling like normal. Mark even asked me this morning, he's like, you finally get rested up and feel okay? It took a long time. Well, hey, everybody that watched the show, thank you very much. Everybody that came to the meet and greet, thank you. Everybody that participated on the show, thank you. Maybe next week, if some of y'all want to get on and just that didn't make it on this time and throw up some comments. I think Squirrel and Greg are going to have a show later on tonight if you want to watch one of the Night Owl shows. Pretty sure they are. Everybody, we love you. Thank you. Glad that everybody got there safe, got back home safe. I know we had stuff happen, but as far as medical and everything, but everybody was okay. Everybody affected by the hurricane that we know of is okay, and that's a blessing in and of itself. And thanks for watching the show, and watch their show tonight, and we'll see y'all next week. Thank you all so much. Chad and Erica, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
We're gonna have you on more. Oh, I'm not done with y'all. Anyway. Okay. Love y'all.
Yeah, thank
Take
you
care.
guys. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Squirrel.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Spencer. We're swapped around again.
Huh?
We're swapped around again.
Yeah, but I know you do it on purpose.